Hey, everybody, we have a special session NFL free agency questions and answers. And with the help of the NFL website as our guide and our friendly sage, if you will, our cyber sage, we will get to some of the more pertinent questions about NFL free agency 2022. Well, some of them are answered right in our face, and it's wonderful to be able to see that this is the case right off the bat. The salary cap is set at $208 million. The NFL free agency period, when does it begin? Well, you would be forgiven if you thought it started already. What with all the news regarding Deshaun Watson and who he's talking to, and the signings that have already been made with a number of players, like Terry Bridgewater, for example, going to Miami from Denver, or Russell Wilson going from the Broncos to become quarterback for the Denver Broncos. You would, to repeat myself, be forgiven if you thought the free agency period already started. Well, technically, it starts tomorrow, the 16th at 4 o'clock in the evening. Then we should see a flurry and a wave of signings. What will really happen is that we'll see a wave of them when the day starts. Then there's the 2-day negotiating period for potential unrestricted free agencies. That started at Monday's date, the 14th, at 12 o'clock p.m., high noon, and it goes until, I would say, the 16th of March, which is tomorrow, at 3:59:59. Yeah, you heard me. Not 4 o'clock, but 3:59 and then 59 seconds, and not a moment after. Boom, that's it. During that period, clubs are permitted to contact and enter into contract negotiations with the certified agents of players who will become unrestricted free agents upon expiration of their 2021 player contracts at 4 o'clock p.m. on March 16th. So remember the period, okay? The period that you're permitted to contact goes from the 14th at noon, and it stops at 3:59:59 tomorrow. And during that period, clubs are permitted to contact and enter into contract negotiations with agents of players who became unrestricted free agents, like, for example, Jameis Winston. But when that clock strikes 4 tomorrow, boom, it stops. The merry-go-round stops, and we see who lands where. What are the categories of free agency? Players are either restricted free agents, okay, restricted free agents, or unrestricted free agents. A restricted free agent may be subject to a qualifying offer. A restricted or unrestricted free agent may be designated by the prior club they are on as the franchise player or the transition player. And what's the time period for free agency signings this year? For restricted free agents, it was March 16th to April 22nd. Okay? For unrestricted free agents who have received a tender from their prior club by the Monday immediately following the final day of the NFL draft for the 2022 year, which is May 2nd. From March 16th to July 2022, which is the first scheduled day of the first NFL training camp, or whichever is later. For franchise players, the time period for signing is from March 16th until the Tuesday following week 10 of the regular season. November 15th, the prior club has exclusive negotiating rights to unrestricted free agents and transition players. Remember, an unrestricted free agent is one who has received a tender offer from the prior club by the Monday immediately following the final day of the NFL draft for the 2022 league year, which is May 2nd. All right? That's an unrestricted free agent. For franchise players, it's different. March 16th until the Tuesday following week 10 of the regular season for 2022. It's a little complicated, but when you start to recite it, it becomes less so, right? After July 22nd until 4 p.m. Eastern on the Tuesday following week 10 of the regular season, November 15th, the prior club, and I'm repeating myself, has exclusive negotiating rights to unrestricted free agents and transition players. If the above listed players do not sign by November 15th, they must sit out the season. So I'll repeat that. For franchise players, from March 16th until the Tuesday following week 10 of the regular season, which is November 15th, okay, that is your period for signing, okay? All right. For transition players, you have March 16th to July 22nd. Now, after July 22nd, and until 4 o'clock p.m. on the Tuesday following week 10 in the regular season or November 15th, the prior club has exclusive negotiating rights to unrestricted free agents and transition players. If those players do not sign by then, they got to sit out. All right? You got to sit out. Okay? So after July 22nd until 4 p.m. Eastern on that Tuesday following week 10, which is November 15th, the prior club has exclusive negotiating rights to unrestricted free agents and transition players. And whoever doesn't get on that merry-go-round sits out for that season after November 15th. Now, what is the difference between a restricted free agent and an unrestricted free agent? All right. Unrestricted free agents have completed 4 more accrued seasons, but upon expiration of their 2021 contract, that unrestricted free agent is free to sign with any club with no draft choice compensation owed to his prior club. Okay? All right? In the 2022 year, players with 3 accrued seasons, not 4, who received a qualifying offer become restricted free agents when their contracts expire at the end of the 2021 season. Got that? So if you're 3 years, you are restricted. If you're 4 years, you're unrestricted, basically. Accrued season or 6 and more regular season games on a club's active or inactive, reserve injured, or reserve physically unable to perform lists. The other question is, how do free agency rules apply to restricted free agents? If a player with 3 accrued seasons has received a qualifying offer, which is a salary tender predetermined by the collective bargaining agreement between the league and the players from his old club, he can negotiate with any club through the 22nd of April. If the restricted free agent signs an offer sheet with a new club, his old club can match it. Hey, we want to match that, okay? And retain him because the qualifying offer entitles it to a right of first refusal on any offer sheet the player signs. Kind of like where Deshaun Watson is, right? That's the Deshaun Watson situation. If the old club does not match the offer, he may receive draft choice compensation depending on the amount of its qualifying offer. If an offer sheet is not executed on or before April 22nd, the player's negotiating rights revert exclusively to his old club. In this case, that would be the Texans. In addition, prior to the start of free agency, a player who would otherwise be a restricted free agent may be designated by his own club as its franchise player or transition player. And there's a lot more here too, that more than I have time to read, but all of it will be posted at oaklandnewsnow.com. When this video goes up, there will be a link at the bottom where you can read the entire set of questions and answers regarding what you can and cannot do as an NFL player who qualifies as a free agent during this period for this year. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnow.com. And hey, thanks for watching the broadcast. We'll see you.